But Jacqui, you're there. Jacqui, can I highlight you for a
Yeah.
second?
Sure.
I'm gonna highlight you, Jacqui. Let me tell you, I am a huge fan of you, and I'm gonna put myself on with you. For everyone here, I want you to meet Dr. Jacqui Fleury, and some of you may have just saw an interview she did with Stuart Tom and Michael Varback. They do a special medical professional type call, and I know John Cindy did a quick edit and shared it with a bunch of people. I was blown away. Stacey and I, Jacqui, were listening to that interview. First of all, Stuart Tompkins is like the best of the best. I mean, talk about a professional communicator, and I know he's with Dr. Michael Garko right now. He sent me a message. He couldn't jump on. He's felt a little bad because I told him I was going to bring you on and also Dr. Lewis. But before I bring Dr. Lewis on, if he's got time to speak, can you just tell everyone here a little bit about yourself? I know you got a new book out and you've got, I think, 150 customers already. Is
I
that right?
do. Yes.
So tell
Yes.
everybody a little bit
Yes.
about your background. Now your video's getting out there. You're going to become quite famous. So in our world, so we're all cheering for you and want to thank you. And really, what you shared, what you did for me personally was it gave me so much confidence in what I'm sharing with my family. It gets me really frustrated when they don't listen sometimes. And I think what you said was so important when you said that some people test the second time and they're not in balance. And that includes my kids. I had my son up. I said, "Did you take your oil today?" "No, I forgot." I said, "How can you forget? Yeah, you're out of balance. I showed you the test," but he's, late 20s, not paying attention. So again, if it was a prescription drug, he'd probably take it, right? Is that what you say? So anyway, over to you,
Yeah.
Jacqui. Share your story.
Yes. Yes. Well, I've been in practice for 25 years and I've used nutritional supplements as a really integral part of my practice for that long. And I've predominantly worked in women's health, but I've treated the whole family for my whole practice. So I think what I love the most about this process and Zinzino and what they stand for in terms of test-based nutrition is that I really do believe that this is the missing link. And I think that the really wise and really proactive healthcare consumer is going to be looking for reassurance, and they really want to know that what they're taking is working. So they're spending money, and I think that the opportunity to be able to test and understand whether or not what they're doing is working, I think, is the way of the future. And I believe that it's just a matter of time before the autonomous healthcare consumer will find their way to this information. So I love being on the cutting edge of this, and I think that it's a really important tool for people to understand what's working and not working. So I've had the opportunity to really test this model in my clinic and to get a really clear sense of, and it really does circle back to accountability, because when I ask people, are they taking their supplements, or if they feel like something's not working, then the first thing that we want to blame is the supplement. But we also need to understand that each person's body is going to respond differently. And so as a healthcare provider, it gives me the opportunity to have a more objective discussion to say, what do we think is going on here, as opposed to just immediately moving on to the next thing. Because until this ratio is dialed in, I believe that there are a lot of other things that probably aren't working as well. So it just gives us a focus, and it holds the conversation consistent until we can dial this ratio in and then move on to the next thing. So I just really, I'm excited about this, and I love it because the omega-3 piece is essential. So it's like asking people to eat more protein. It's a missing food group. If they're not getting their omega-3s, then it's like a missing food group. Something's missing from their plate, basically.
You're leading the way in customer acquisition because you're passionate and people trust with you, give advice, obviously. And I don't know if network marketing is new to you. Is it, the concept of networking?
Not entirely. But what I really appreciate about this particular opportunity is that we have two options. We can work the customer aspect of it, or we can work the partner aspect, or we can do both. And I believe that this is, again, it's like forming partnerships and collaborations 2.0, which we can do this from around the world. It doesn't have to all be under the same roof. I've done that model, and it's finite. Like there's really a lot of limitations to everybody being under the same roof. So I really love this collaborative approach that allows us to work together, share our stories, share our wins, and then and have that duplicated around the world. So I love that idea.
I love that you're sharing with all of us. It's really powerful what you're offering. Do you happen to know Dr. Mike Lewis? Did you have a previous relationship with him? Did you know who he was?
I didn't, and actually I've been hoping to have a conversation with him this week. We tried to connect last week, and I really want to work closely with him and understand what's working for him, what isn't working, because I think as healthcare providers, we're dealing with unique unique opportunities, but also a couple of unique challenges. So I think that as we pull together, we can forge the way.
Dr. Jacqui, I just highlighted and spotlighted Dr. Michael Lewis. So this is an impromptu introduction to let you two meet, but I'm just really like a rose, but thorn between two roses here when it comes to just beautiful people who have been doing more good for the world than anything I've ever done. And that's because you do healthcare, you do look after people. As my dear fiance Stacy says, people that do what you two do are really God's angels on earth, and she gets really frustrated to see all these ball players get these huge contracts for entertaining us, and thinks that you're the people that should be getting these huge contracts for what you do for us and humanity in general. So Dr. Jacqui Fleury, for everyone, she's got a new book out, and your book is called?
It's Master Your Moods for Menopause and Perimenopause.
So I don't think that's for me.
Well, you'd be surprised. There is a chapter just for men because, yeah, men are affected just as much as women, but for different reasons. So, yes.
Okay, fair enough.
It's cool.
Fair enough. Stacy said, "What's the name again?" So we'll get the name. Yeah, maybe I'll share that with everybody in our WhatsApp groups. Be glad to promote your book for you. Informally, I want to make sure you get to meet Dr. Michael Lewis now. I've highlighted both of you because I wanted to also have Michael talk a little bit. He just we got to be friends last summer when he came to visit us up on Lake Winnipesaukee with his beautiful wife and a couple of their kids. And Stuart Tomk, again, is a personal friend of Michael's, and Michael has got a book out called When Brains Collide. I don't know if you've heard about it, Dr. Jacqui, but it's a fantastic book, and the story in there that he highlights has been on CNN with Dr. Sanjay Gupta, I guess if I say it right. I never say his name right, Dr. Michael, but why I asked Dr. Michael to be on today is that he's accomplished something really important, and our plan is elevating to what's called a diamond level. And it means you're doing both building of a team and getting customers. So, Dr. Lewis is an Omega researcher. He's founder of the Brain Health Research and Education Institute out of the DC type area. He's been an infectious disease hunter. I even know a story he told me when he was captured by the KGB, and we even paid enough. I guess the U.S. valued enough to actually pay to get him back. And this is what he says. He said, "I knew I was worth something." So anyway, Dr. Jacqui, meet Dr. Lewis. Dr. Lewis, meet Dr. Jacqui. We have a top customer getter and a top business builder. Putting them together would be amazing. I'll let you talk. I just want to listen to you two.
Well, Jacqui and I have been able to, we've talked a couple times on the phone, so it's been really helpful. It's been a couple months actually, and we've just sort of been going at it and building our businesses separately. But as you know, I know, and there's zero doubt in my mind that if I need Jacqui's help, she would answer the phone, and hopefully she feels the same way. So anytime I've been trying to bring somebody in from Canada into the business, Jacqui's the first person I think of. And yeah, she's fantastic. And the fact that you're building such an amazing customer base, I keep flirting with the I hit 92, 94 customer points, and I fall back to like 88. I can't seem to hit that 100 point. So I've got to learn something from you, Jacqui, to figure out how to get me over that magical 100 customer point uh, level. So yeah, we've got lots to, I
Absolutely.
look forward to working with you even more.
Yeah,
I could say to
absolutely.
both of you, I called up Dr. Lewis when he made Diamond to congratulate him. I said, listen, with all the accomplishments you have, which are numerous in life, probably all much more important than making any level in our company. I said, I'm still proud of what you've done, because a lot of people that are, especially product oriented, they're health oriented, they're medical oriented, that's your expertise, that's your lane. But to have a business mind and also to be willing to go out and kind of stumble a little bit, or maybe not be as knowledgeable in a new area, and willing to take that chance and you know and struggle a little bit, because this business isn't so easy, and getting people's interest is not always easy, but the right person is always interested. So I asked Dr. Mike, I said, what was, we could talk science here, but from both of you, what experiences about building the team and networking have you learned? What could you teach all of our viewers today, this from your observations? And then what advice would you give any of them here about the business of Zinzino from what you've learned? Because you're both succeeding as customer getters and building teams. But switch from the science side for a second. And what is someone who doesn't have my 35 years of network marketing? In the medical world, I'd be like you guys. But in the network marketing world, you're kind of, I wouldn't even be your intern yet.
Jacqui, what do you think?
Well, I would love to know your answer,
What's your biggest
Dr. Mike, because
lesson that you've learned?
my biggest lesson is making sure that I am clear on who I want to work with. Like, as I'm building a team, I want to be really clear on who I want to work with, and that growth mindset and the willingness to think outside of the box, and then that's where I wanted to pick your brain a little bit more, Dr. Mike, because there are practitioners who really are just interested in staying in their lane. And then there are those that see the bigger image or vision, and they understand where this can go from a healthcare collaborative perspective. So I think that's the important conversation, is understanding that this is a business, but that the mission and the vision are where I think that they need to land. Because there's a lot of
no, those are great points, and I think we could all learn from those. And you bring up something really important: is who do you choose to work with? And that, I think the two of us have been in long enough that we've seen tremendous changes, mainly, absolutely 100% because of Michael Varbeck and Stuart Tomk and what they've done. Stuart says, when I came in about a month or so after him. We weren't onboarded, we were waterboarded. And we were all just trying to figure out, for months after month after month, just trying to figure out what's the best way. And somebody with the knowledge, the background, the experience of a Michael Varbeck just starts to put it all together with a vibrant world and all these tools that are making it so much easier. But one thing that always stands out when I talk to Larry or Art, and especially when we're talking about bringing a new person in, the first thing they always say is, make it, have your list of 10 or 12 people, but who are the two people that you want to most closely work with? Who is your A and who is your B? And who do you want to be on your board of directors, the two people most close to work with? And that finally, I'm a little slow sometimes, that finally started to sink in. but also because of the way that A Vibrant World is coming together, um, and how the tools that they're now making available for us have been really amazing. And that what's really come to me, my lesson learned is I need to do a much better job of helping people who come in who are, they relied on me, they trusted me, and I've got to learn to be better about helping them build their business. And the tools that A Vibrant World are really starting to make that much more simple. I've got somebody,
Mhm.
well, I haven't gone through to see who's here, but I've got a wonderful occupational therapist in Wyoming, and before she even had gotten her ultimate partner kit, she's all right. I've got my list of 12 people. Where do we go with this? And so Stuart and I are like, all right, we're gonna do that. That's when it finally dawned on me, like, wait a minute, now we're doing it the right way, right? I'm not just bringing somebody in to bring them in. I was involved with a nutritional multi-level 15 years ago, and it was basically somebody who was the used car salesman. He went like crazy and brought in a bunch of people, but never helped develop them. And that's the
Mhm.
difference with Zenzino is, I think everybody probably, if you've heard me talk about Zenzino, this is the team I've been looking for a long time. I grew up playing sports, anything with a ball, football, baseball, basketball, got into rugby in college and beyond. I played a little bit of international rugby as well. And I've not, and then the Army's like a big team. It's really the ultimate team, if you will, because literally people's lives depend on you. And when I retired a dozen years ago, I've been looking for that team ever since. And I finally found it. And I feel like I've come home. I found that team that I not only can I rely on, that I can trust, but that I really want to work with. And I share Oren and Hilda's vision that literally, if you've seen what I post on Facebook or LinkedIn or other things, is help me change the world. And I really
Mhm.
believe that.
Mhm.
Look, I'm so honored, like all of us, to have you both on the team. I think when you learn the network marketing side, what you're saying is correct. You got to find really one cornerstone in it, the first two legs, solidify two lines by finding somebody that really has the desire and willingness to do this. That's a big thing because you have to know what someone's intention is. What is their goal? What are they looking for? A little extra money? They looking for a career change? They're looking to prepare for retirement. They want to make the president level and earn $1 million a year, whatever it is. You got to kind of identify the needs of the partners. But in a structure like this, if you find just two really committed leaders, then that's really the starting point. You've really knocked it if you got two. If you have the three income centers, you can build four leaders. That is the ultimate. That's like building a solid, stable, a table, because you got four good legs to hold the table and everything can go up from there. But that's the cornerstones of your building, is those four people. With your credibility, I would say this to anybody in your downline that's listening. It would be such an honor to be able to say to people, hey, Stacy, my friend PJ's here listening. I'd say, hey, listen, I'm not an expert at this. I'm especially taking a blood test, but I'm working with someone who is. Let me tell you, you really need to take this seriously, because look, I talk to my friends and family and they look at me cross-eyed thinking, what do you know about health and wellness, Artie? What do you know about it? In fact, you've had your own health challenges. Why am I listening to you? So we don't have the degrees or the diplomas on the wall there, or a book about health and wellness that we can promote, but all of your teammates should be using that. And just if they were smart, it's about telling a story and promoting an event, promoting what Jacqui's doing, promoting what you're doing, promoting what Stuart's doing. And thankfully, we're all under this umbrella where it's beneficial to share across lines, because at the end, we all want to be stockholders here, and we want this stock to go through the roof. And it already is. But can you imagine if you own a few 100,000 shares, or even more? That sounds pretty good. So we have so much potential here, and I just can't thank you both enough for being part of it. I'm looking forward to many more promotions for you. If I can be of assistance to either of you, and I know you've got great support teams that know what I know, but I'm certainly here as well, because the more I can help you to be successful, the more you're going to be empowering everybody across all of our organizations with your credibility. So thank you for letting me have you guys featured here. And really, I know, Dr. Michael, you probably rather talk the science part, but I wondered what you may have learned from this process, because not a lot of the medical professionals really embrace the business part of it. But you do have an MBA, so you do have a business background. You're not just a medical professional. You're also a business professional. So that's awesome.
Well, thanks, Artie. And, kudos to you and Stacy, because you really have, I mean, North America would be absolutely nothing without the work that you two have done, and Larry and Stuart and Michael. It really is the American team, North American team.
Relocating. Stacy and I are going off, and we got an aggressive 7-week travel schedule around Europe. We got many events to do. I'll be promoting my schedule next Monday when I come on. But then we're back here at the last of June, and we're going to be setting up some mega events around the U.S. and Canada. I'm going to be talking to Michael, Stuart, and all of you, and we're going to organize with Larry some events with our team so that we can get people face to face, because we've been doing so much online, but there's no question how Larry and I were the key drivers. Consider we built a company that he and I were mostly responsible for the 800 million a year in turnover. So we built an 800 million dollar company, and we did it to the point where we were doing on average 4 events in the United States alone a year, 3 to 4, with over 10,000 people at each event. So we took the meeting to the people, and we created an environment that fostered relationship building, empowerment of people to become successful, all the stuff people go to the Tony Robbins and the kind of conferences to get pumped up and educate. We give them that for nothing. We mix it with a business plan so they can have a path to run on. And what a better place to be than with a company where we're going to empower people to pay it forward with good health and being proactive with their health, starting with ourselves and our families. So I think we have this unique synergy happening, and I think we have only scratched the surface. I was telling Stacy, who we've been running in life together for 6 years, I said she has not really seen what true compound effect of momentum is yet, and most people here haven't. Now, some of the people here worked with me in the past, and they saw what our team did, but I got to the point where we were adding 50,000 customers a month. 50,000. Thousands of reps.
Wow.
I mean, we maintained over 1 million active customers. So, right now the team has produced, all of our combined efforts is almost 18,500 customers. So it's now just starting to get that point where, like you said, Dr. Michael, that, given that Michael Varbeck's expertise and others, we're getting our systems down better. We're getting our presentations. We're still working on some final things that we need to do. I've got another big deal brewing right now with the help of Orient Saleh, that we're about to have 3 major articles in mainstream media that is going to be mentioning Zinzino and the testing and the global issue with the imbalance of omega-6 to omega-3. So we're dovetailing off of what happened with the story in Fox in this White House paper. We've got a media guy that I was referred to, and Glenn, I see, is on here. We've been working on that for you, Glenn, but it's coming. and this is going to be significant, and it's going to help everybody across the world as Enzino, because once the awareness in the media starts to grow and they realize we're the leader out there in this mission we have, they're going to be coming to look for us. So we're going to compress the time frames for the potential of the growth of this brand. Right now, we've got what, 8, almost 10 countries with 1% tested of the populations in those countries, smaller countries, but a couple of them are pretty big. And now what's going to happen is when the awareness goes up, the time frame's compressed. Look, I went and had blood tests before I left to go back to Europe. I go in to get my blood. My doctor, I showed him the article from PubMed about how after being, having 2 stents, I should be 4 to 1. He goes, "Can I take a picture of that article? Can you send me the link to that PubMed?" They tested me for all these biomarkers, but not my omega fatty acids. Do you believe that one day we're all going to be tested for this as a normal order of going to the doctor? Do you think that's going to happen, Dr. Jacqui? Do you think one day?
I do. I do. I hold the vision. I've been doing this for a long time, and things that I thought would take off sooner haven't. But I think that's the other thing I love about this, is that this is the power of the people. And so this is a bottom-up approach instead of a top-down approach. And that's where I think the power is the consumer. The people want better health, and they're frustrated that they're not getting it from the people that they go to. They want this from their doctors. They may not be getting it. And so they will take this into their own hands. And I think that's where having access to monitoring their own markers from a reputable lab with a reputable company behind it is the key to changing global healthcare.
Dr. Michael, what do you think it's going to take before we go to the doctors and they include this in a blood panel in this country? You're muted, by the way. You have to unmute. Okay.
That's a really, well, it sounds like, I could just throw something out there. When I was teaching graduate school epidemiology, I always made the last class about decision making. And so what does it take for somebody to decide how much science is enough, how much epidemiology is enough, how many studies are enough? And there's no single right answer. And it really comes down to who owns the checkbook and who's willing to make that happen. So but you got to keep pushing forward. I was at several events over the last 2 weeks. It was kind of a crazy 2 weeks for me. And one of them was a keynote speaker at an addiction medicine conference. And me talking about omegas, you would have, and this was a nutrition for addiction medicine conference. And me talking about omegas, you would have thought that they had never heard about omega-3s before. And so the response was really, really good. But I wish I had a magical answer to say this is exactly what it's going to take, because I would have done that a long time ago. I just had a meeting today with the company that's licensing my patent on intravenous omegas, and it's what is it going to take to get to market? And those are the. I'll tell you one last little quick story. When I was still on active duty in the military, and I was working on developing this intravenous formulation, I was working with the largest IV manufacturer in Europe. And I was at a meeting with them, with the lawyer from the DOD, and we're at this company, and there was a coffee break, and the head of research and development for this multinational, 50,000 employees in 6 continents kind of a company, largest manufacturer in Europe. And everybody left except for me, the lawyer, and the head of R&D for this company, a German company. And the lawyer says, "So, Jürgen, what do you think, what does the company think that this drug might be worth?" And he said, "Billions." And without missing a beat, he goes back to writing what he was doing. And the lawyer said, "Is that dollars or euros?" So We literally, so to say we're talking about the $1 million question is not even accurate. It literally, what is it going to take? That's the $1 billion question, honestly. That's what the potential is here.
Again, I thank you both for being on this call. I know you got busy days and busy practices, and thank you for giving us all confidence that we chose the right opportunity with Zinzino, all of us that don't have your backgrounds. And we just want to help you elevate to higher and higher levels so you can have more influence here on the world of Zinzino and everyone's health. So congratulations again for your both reaching the achievements you had, two of the top levels. And I look forward to more and more promotions, and I'm going to let you guys sign off. Thank you guys very much. And I appreciate you. And
Thank you.
again, I'll promote any book that either one of you have. I'll put it in the chats for everybody. Okay. So send me a link to your book, Jacqui, and I'll get it out to everyone. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Same for
Thank
you,
you.
Dr. Mike. Thank you very much. I'm going to let you guys go, and then I'm going to close up the call. Again, I'm heading out to Europe. Stacy and I are heading to the airport in just a few hours. I got 2 more Zooms to do before I can get packed. So with that, I'm just going to say, make it a fantastic month, everyone. I really want to thank you all for putting this in your calendar. I never even promoted it, and you all still showed up. So that's great. Again, go, as I said last week, go to your existing customers, send that Dr. Jacqui interview. Say, who are 5 people that are health conscious that you love and care about? Maybe you've talked to about the test. Let me help you get free Zinzino products. 5 referrals from every customer will keep you very busy this week. And that will allow you to share, again, information, keep sharing the most important number video, and let's keep growing your business.